happy Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or whatever day of the week you're watching this episode. But we are Podbean Amplified, and welcome. If you are not expecting to see me or us, too bad. You're here. Please keep watching. My job depends on it. My name is Shae. I should introduce myself.
My name's Ericka.
No, I'm kidding. This is Podbean Amplified, and we are... She's like, her job really does but depend on it. Like, please keep watching. No. We are interviewing a founder of one of the most innovative podcasting ideas that I've heard so far this season, I would say. I'm very excited for that. Not only that, but we are actually on our 20th episode. I had to flip that because I remember camera's backwards. Yeah. We are on our 20th episode. Ericka.
20th. It's been a long journey.
It's been real.
It's been fun.
But not at the same time.
No.
No, I'm kidding. How was your weekend? I have to ask. We have to keep it kosher.
Same weekend, you know. I did the roar. What was that? Rest
and open-armed relaxation. We welcome those things. Rest and relaxation with open arms. We call it the roar. And if you weren't here last episode, well, this is something that we're going to be continuing because roar is something that needs to be a thing. You know, sure. Those Gen Z kids, if one of you's watching it out there, put that on your little thingy-majig. Yeah. Because I've been, just a sidebar, I was born in 1998. Not to tell my age, I know I'm young or old to whoever's watching, whatever. I am like on the cusp of Gen Z. So some of my ideals and the way I live is very millennial, but I'm not millennial.
Oh, okay.
You know, a lot of the younger millennials like to tell me that and remind me. They're like, no, you're Gen Z. And I was like, well, I am grandma Gen Z because a lot of these fads and things coming about, I really have no pulse for it. I know nothing about it. Like this thing.
What is that?
This is how they clap. You're not either.
This is clap?
So like when people are excited for you now, I hear like, yes.
I thought this is something.
Like, okay, so in our thing, we were like snaps and claps because clapping is sometimes loud and dramatic and whatnot. But now people are doing this and I absolutely love it. I'm not hating on it. But now I find myself like, yes.
It's very soft.
Right. I'm just like, what am I doing? Why do I keep doing this? Grandma Gen Z.
Interesting. So anything, huh? Wow.
They just come up with new things every single time. But I'm not mad at this one. This one I'm not mad at.
Cute, though.
The TikTok dances, but this one I'm not mad at. I guess, Queen, go off. All right. In the podcasting news, in the podcasting space, companies are growing and taking over. We talked a couple of weeks ago, maybe even a month ago, about podcasting being mainstream in the UK.
Yeah.
Now, a company in the UK is taking the world by storm. Well, taking the UK by storm. But I would keep a lookout for Audio Boom. Have you heard of it?
Not particularly, no.
Okay. So it's a podcasting network. It's actually in a podcasting conglomerate, one of the top 5 podcasting networks in the UK.
Okay.
And so recently, according to podcastnewsdaily.com, shout out to you guys. We hope that we see you at Podcast Movement as well. I want to be at everybody. I'm sorry. I'm just going on tangents today. My brain is everywhere. But Audio Boom in the UK, top 5 podcasting network, has bought another top 5 podcasting network, projecting them to be the leading podcasting network by 2030.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So Adalicious is the company that they, lack of a better term, swallowed, merged, combined. They joined. They got bought, purchased, swallowed. That's like the worst connotation. The worst connotative word I could ever have thought of. Let me just forget the last 15 seconds happened. Press that button, rewind. They merged. They got purchased.
They got absorbed, maybe.
My engineer is crying. He's like, I cannot believe she's a spokesperson, not PR. But anyways, with this acquisition, it fast forwards the UK market strategy by 5 or 6 years. So I believe that UK podcasting will soon be known in the US mainstream as well.
Right. Wow.
It's growing pretty big. Oh yeah. So the acquisition is just the beginning of a larger plan to consolidate a lot of the podcasting industry. I don't know how I feel about that part because it kind of seems like TV to me.
Yeah.
But in both the US and the UK, around 75% of podcast ad revenue still flows through more than 100 different independent companies. So right now, I think a lot of the larger companies are looking to start minimizing those, create a large streamed revenue place for them.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's why it reminds me of TV.
yeah. But like this is more independent. They still be able to control their own shows, but they're just under some like a network, right? That helps them.
Right. It's like CBS. I want to join with my podcast.
That's really cool.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Wow.
So guys, dust off the podcasts and, refine them. Tune into Podbean Amplified to optimize your podcast. I mean, even these shows that we have talk about the different numerous ways that you can grow your podcast and make it even better than it already is. Maybe you're lacking in some places. Maybe you don't have the right up front knowledge of podcasting because truthfully, Ericka and I are learning every single day more and more things about podcasting. It's everything. Yep. I mean, with social media, think about it in perspective. With social media, you're just posting. You have to take the picture, take the video, edit, and then post. Maybe think of the caption. So like a 4 or 5 part thing. With podcasting, you got pre-production, you got actual production, you got post-production. In those 3 different areas, you have maybe 2 to 5 steps in all of them. Getting the guest, editing the show, adding the audio, fixing the audio where it may be cut out, or I don't know, just so many aspects of a podcast. And I promise you, we are learning every day, and you should be doing the same.
We're here to learn with you.
Yeah.
So
We're here for you and with you.
Yep.
Oh, Ericka. Remember that because this is our 20th episode, I'm feeling very nostalgic. So I'm going to keep pulling us back and just going on the times where we talked about different things. Do you remember when we talked about in Japan, there was a little town and they had a human zoo? Where you could wear animal costumes? Yes.
Yeah. I remember.
And you had brought up, like bestiality.
Oh my goodness. I didn't run out specifically, but
you said it's giving me it's giving me bestiality, or it's like a kink.
Yeah.
Speaking of kinks, we've also talked about the Mile High Club and some people doing those things. Do you have any specific kinks that you would like to share with Podbean?
I'll keep it on the down low. It's a little TMI for me. I want to keep it a little secret. But
she said I plead the fifth, and you know what? Rightfully so, because I was not going to say nothing. I was just checking to see if you had anything to say. Oh my gosh, I am like, hold on, I'm getting really nervous now. Why did I do that to myself? Why did I do that to us? We're awkward people. Oh my god. Okay, just kidding. What a weird segue into this video. However, we all have kinks and we all have fetishes and we all have things that drive us chemically crazy. And I'm going to show you a video that kind of touches on that.
You start with a side hustle which was built around OnlyFans initially. When did it develop into what you're doing now, which has become the most lucrative parts of your world, which is selling sweat though, Alexia?
One person actually messaged me and asked me if they could buy, it was my head guard. That I like spar in. So I was like, okay then, yeah, sure. And then he recommended me on, I think it was a Reddit group.
Right.
That like, I sell my sweat essentially. And then they all just came flowing in, like so many of them wanting to buy it. And then that's when someone asked me to buy one of these a jar.
So you've actually bought a vial of your sweat in for us.
I bought 2, one for you each.
One each, thank you. That's very generous.
I might start wearing it around my neck or something like that.
A new perfume.
Tell me about how much you make and
How
what
much
you've
would one of
bought
those
with
vials
it
be?
and-
Yeah.
So it depends. So depending on like how fast they want it. So if they're like, right, I want you to go for a run. I want you to put it in the jar and send it to me right now. Like they're paying for my time. So that's going to cost more. But if somebody's like, can you get me a jar like as soon as you can, like no rush, 150.
So £150 for a jar about
Well,
that
one
big.
of those.
Yeah, but that's if they're not in a rush.
You
so
are
I can do
winning at life, Alexia.
So if they want it more urgently, you can charge. What's the most you've charged for a vial?
Well, I've got one guy that's brought not just vials, but he buys me head guards on my Amazon wish list, and then I wear them, do my stuff, boxing gloves a lot, and overall, so I've been doing it for a year and a half. He spent 40,000 on it.
Whoa.
£40,000.
Yeah.
So what have you bought with that money?
I'm not really like a big spender. Like I'm trying to like invest in my future. So I bought a house in cash very recently.
A house in cash?
Yeah, I've got an M4 competition. That's the one thing I do have that
That's a
like
car.
costs. Yeah, sorry, it's a car. That's like a 60 grand car. That's the only one thing I've got that's like not an asset, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I've just bought my house in cash. I'm looking to buy another house very soon. So it's put me in a very good position.
Ooh, what are we doing right now? Whoa.
We should be selling our sweat, girl. Like right now, the sweat from I can even provide you the video clippings and you can put it on your wall. Like watch the live video
Oh
as
my
well as she's
goodness.
sweating. And like, this is the sweat in the jar. I'll send it to you. Not for 150, baby. You pay me $500. No way I'm sending you my sweat for cheap. 150?
It's premium.
I would not. Yeah, it's premium sweat, girl. I don't sweat a lot, so.
It's nervous sweat.
We can have different kinds. It's like nervous sweat, scared sweat, stressed,
Oh my goodness.
working out, you know?
Labeling it. Ooh, that's crazy.
I actually went down a rabbit hole of information on. Leave it to me for this to be the episode for me to not find those better words. Let's just leave it at that. I went down this rabbit hole. Originally, it was a study that showed, it was this picture of a man sniffing a female's armpit.
Mm.
And I was like, that's really odd. That could be a really cool topic to talk about. So I click on the article and I'm reading it, and it's saying that studies show that men enjoy the female pheromones, like the odor. So like smelling a female's armpit, it was saying that a man would think that you were prettier after doing so. There's something in our body chemistry and our pheromones that allow the male to relax, almost like our mammal counterparts.
Interesting.
Our engineer's right here just shaking his head like, ain't no way I'm smelling no armpits, girl.
Oh my god.
But you
That's
never
crazy.
know until you try.
Yep. She's suggesting recommending.
Hey, listen for my party people out there. Perfect for online dating. Okay, you're going on a date with this girl and you're not very attracted to her, but you know, like the dating apps are, you are charged. Smell her armpit, make you even more charged. You know, it's like she's a 6. Smell her armpit,
Oh
man.
my
Now
goodness.
she's an 8. Now she's an 8.
That's why.
But it actually goes hand in hand with, it says that during our fertility times, that's why, is because like when mammals gravitate towards female and they want to mate, you know, they can sense it in a way and it makes them crazy. So it's the same thing.
The chemical imbalance in our bodies. Kind of, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
But wow.
Yeah.
I know one movie that kind of like it's a gore movie, like how would I say this? Called Perfume. So basically it's quite dark. And the guy has this obsession with women, and he creates perfumes through women sweat.
Women's sweat?
Yeah. So basically, when he has a time, it was like 1920s, you know, like those that was the setting in that movie, and then he tries to like go to the women, try to kill them, and then he tries to extract the sweat or just the scent of the woman, and then he creates that as a perfume. It's a movie, yeah. So you can, I don't know. It kind of aligns with
Oh my
that.
gosh. Imagine somebody kidnapping you, okay? Knocks you out and you're tied up. And I just open my eyes and I'm sweating my ass off in a sauna. I'm like, what is going on? And he's just scraping my body with a credit card into this
Trying
vial
to
like
get
I
you
need your sweat.
Yeah. Oh, so creepy.
The fact that I had those mental images all locked and loaded and ready, I'm like,
But, yeah, that's,
to take it a step further, I'm talking about the rabbit hole. Did you know that females sometimes, I'm not saying females, actually, both parties have been confirmed. That when it's almost like a love potion. When you want someone to fall in love with you or like you a little bit more or be connected to you in a way they can't understand or shake. I've heard about people cooking for the ones they love and adding a little bit of zest.
oh, human zest.
The lack of the better words for me today.
Yeah.
Go up, queen.
Ooh.
The most unhinged show. Episode 20. We're here.
There you go. I mean, trying to make the most of it. But as a love potion, well, I can share something.
Oh, no, you've done it.
No, not
done
me. But like from stories, because where I came from, like we're still parts in the country in the Philippines. There are like some what's called like witchy provinces where they create certain potions, but like with herbs, oils, and everything like that. And I know someone like when I was a kid told me she had like a boss, like she works for a boss as a maid, and you know how like some bosses treats their maid like very shitty, and then she did something like with his food, like I think it was a spit or something, a DNA from her, like period or something, and then it's like it would consider as like a spell or like you know a potion, quote unquote, because your DNA is a part of it, and so it's something.
This is
part of
going
it.
way deeper than I
But
thought.
but yeah, you brought up about like the love potion, so that you know.
Fellas, watch your spaghetti and meatballs. And ladies, don't
should've
cast
shared.
the fellas to the side. Watch your Alfredos. The men cooking for you. You don't know what's going on. Why does a man want to do this?
Because
No, I'm
it's
kidding.
crazy. Some people gets to be obsessed because of how they did that, and they can't get out of it.
It's
So-
like who's that famous? MGK and Megan Fox, and how they have vials of each other's blood, and it's like, that's like,
like they keep it.
yeah. I don't know if they drank it or they just keep it on them like a ring form or a necklace, but
Yeah.
I know they have each other's blood, and they were very cryptic and saying like the way that they were posting on social media too obviously was very scary.
It's like blood bonding.
Blood bonding. It's like you two should not be together, but it's like your body chemistry and everything inside of you is saying, but I need this person.
Yeah.
Ladies, don't be getting no ideas up in here.
No.
Let me just make this one thing very clear. This is all fun and games. This is funny, and this is, some people do it and that's fine. However, one thing I will say, ladies and fellas, if you have to put something in something and give it to somebody to digest of yourself in order for them to love you more, please give that love to yourself first.
Yep.
Give it to yourself first, man, because that person probably shouldn't have loved you in the first place, and you're trying to mess with the universe, trying to mess with natural occurrences, and it's just all bad.
It's gonna backfire. So just.
I mean, are MGK and Megan Fox still together? Some may say yes, some may say no, and we are both not incorrect because it just, like a switch. Back and forth they are. Like a switch, and now they have a kid. So be careful who you give spaghetti to, guys.
Or sweat.
Or sweat. Oh, God. I'm just like, I'm not going to have spaghetti for another month. Or maybe I will.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I'm so kidding. Let's take me off this path. My sweat is going to come through my armpits. We're talking about a lot of things.
It's not for sale.
It's not for sale yet. And trust me, it ain't going to be for $150, baby. You're going to be paying me at least $500. I said that before, but I'll say it again. I feel like even though it was a ridiculous thing, that vial of sweat, I'm like,
Yeah, she has it.
it should be more than $150 in my opinion.
Oh my God. Jesus. That's
It should be. All right. Podbean software highlight. We are Podbean, a company. I need to reel myself back because this is not our personal podcast. This is a company podcast. And we have gone off the I have gone off the rails a little bit, four too many times this episode. We are going to talk about private podcasting, which is where some of the conversation should have stayed. I'm kidding. All right. So obviously, have you ever wanted to release bonus content? Because I know I have a lot of my files backed up. I have a lot of things that I have not released, still want to release, but only for your biggest fans. Or maybe you've got an internal podcast just for your team or coaching certain clients. We're going to talk about a Podbean feature that makes this really simple and streamlined. It's private and premium podcasting, which comes with Podbean. So with Podbean, you can lock down content, share it with exactly who you want, whether that's a paid audience, a private group, VIP subscribers. And you don't need a Patreon, Substack, or a separate membership platform to do so.
And it's perfect for bonus episodes, extended interviews, early access content for super fans, internal company updates or team trainings, paid coaching or mastermind groups, or even member-only talks or nonprofit briefings. So here's a pro tip. Use the premium option to experiment, maybe drop one episode per month and see how your audience responds. And you could even bundle it with a newsletter or course and, to build more value around your brand. So if you're ready to turn your private content into a powerful loyalty builder or even a revenue stream, check out the private and premium podcasting on Podbean. It's already built in and all you have to do is flip the switch.
I really love that. And one thing I do want to point out and emphasize is that this is a great way to make your listeners feel special or a way for your revenue to be separate. All you have to do is when you're publishing an episode, just request that it be private. You'll get a link or a code or a password to put in. And you're able to, maybe you have a list of VIP subscribers and you want to give them 12 hours early access to an episode. Or you have a really special guest that you want to gatekeep for yourself and you want some people who are on your subscriber VIP list to watch that episode as well.
Yeah.
So a great way for you to manage and keep a lot of your things separately while also thinking about making an extra stream of revenue.
For sure.
I know a lot of people love behind the scenes content. They love things that are not structured. Yeah. Alrighty, friends, it is time for our Creator Talk segment where we show industry leaders, podcasters, tech companies, anybody really to do with podcasting. We have our friend here in the works with a brand new company. Well, not brand new, but fairly new and breaking out into the scenes. I have Mr. Alex Sanfilippo, the founder of Podmatch.
Hello, welcome.
Shae, Ericka, thank you so much for having me here today. I really appreciate it.
Yes, no, thank you for coming on. Obviously, we have a lot of questions about Podmatch and, just the inner workings of, I guess, social media networking nowadays is how we say it, right?
Yeah.
But we want to start at the beginning. What inspired you to start Podmatch first and foremost? And also, what gap in the podcasting space or industry were you looking to fill with this company?
Yeah, so the reason I launched it was to fill a gap. So those two things kind of go hand in hand for me, which to me is kind of like the right way to start a business, if you will. But I had gotten kind of deep into the podcasting space, and I was a Podbean customer, and I reference this offline. It was either 2012 or 2014 when I started with y'all. So it's been a while, but I had my own show and really just enjoyed being a podcaster. But so much that I decided I wanted to actually do something to support the industry. So I I decided there's got to be a problem here that has not been solved in podcasting, right? Like the hosting taken care of, right? I know that, right? Like what needs to be done? And so it was actually, the year was 2020. It was about a month before the world shut down. But I was in Orlando, Florida, at a big podcasting conference, and I was speaking there. There's about 2,000 people in the room. And I just made a point at the end of my talk to just ask, hey, if you'd be willing to just talk to me for just a moment, I'd love to connect with you just to meet you real quick. I want to meet as many podcasters as I can. And so when I got off stage, thankfully people were really nice. So I got a positive response from that. And I had pen and paper in hand. And I asked just a few things: name, email address, and then what are you struggling with in podcasting right now? And so I heard a lot of things that day, but 100 people, it was the most common thing. 100 people is when I cut it off that said the same thing, which was, Alex, I'm really having trouble finding the ideal guests for my show and streamlining that whole process. Interestingly enough, in that same room, there was people there that were not podcasters, but they wanted to be a guest on podcasts. Like, Alex, I've got this book. Do you know any business podcasters that I could talk to? I'm like, oh, I just met someone, but there's a line of people still here. I'll connect you later, right? And so I went home with that idea, realizing that what I wanted to do was help streamline the entire booking process, both for guest and host, making it easier for them to connect together faster and making sure it's the right connection. Because I think we can all find people that will have you as a guest or that will be a guest on a show, but the right fit is a different conversation altogether, right? And that's the problem that I wanted to solve with Podmatch.
Love that.
Wow. Yeah. For those new to the space, how would you describe Podmatch in a sentence?
Like a dating app, but instead of connecting for dates, it connects for podcast interviews. That's the simplest way I can describe it. It works almost exactly like that. We actually did model it off of some dating apps. Like we kind of looked at how they did things. I'm like, let's not reinvent the wheel. They're doing this already. Like let's build something that matches people, but not for dates, for podcast interviews. And so that's kind of how I describe it.
It's very easy.
I love that. Yeah. When we looked back and found Podmatch, I actually was unfamiliar up until a few months ago, because I'm not too in the social podcast space. I was more in like another social space. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is fantastic. What a great idea, because I have trouble networking. Vegas is it's not like LA. You know, there's a lot of creators in Las Vegas who I think we have the same amount, you know, if not just a little bit less people on that social media side of it, creation. And but there's not a lot of community. There's not a lot of networking. And I thought, like, what a special way, because, you know, we don't connect here in Vegas.
That is interesting. And I do think that more and more, like just being in part of this like AI world that we live in now, right? The human connection is becoming more desirable for people. Like we feel more disconnected than before, even though we're like technically more connected online. We feel that disconnect. So I hear what you're saying. And I hope that we at least help with that in the podcasting space.
No, I love that. I think that it definitely would. It would make it easier, because a lot of people would stray away from the face-to-face connection and they're more into like the digital connection so far. Right. So I think that booking process would be a lot easier.
Yeah, for sure.
Just walking up to somebody and putting them on the spot.
Yeah.
Although that could be a really fun podcast. I don't know if everyone would love it, but I mean, to watch it would be fun.
Yeah, walking the strip and be like, hey, I need you for 30 minutes. Come talk to me. Like the career ladder. So what's one thing that a podcaster, specifically we have a lot of Podbean listeners here, so what would be one thing a podcaster can do today to optimize their Podmatch profile and get booked?
Yeah, I think it's hard for listeners and potential guests to know what you stand for if it's not clearly being articulated. And so this goes beyond your Podmatch profile, but it definitely applies to that as well. But in general, if I'm like considering your podcast, like I want to go on it, like I need to be able to look at it and listen to it, read the description, and understand at least vaguely who it is that it's for, like who is it supporting as a listener, but also what are you looking for as a host? And I find that a lot of podcasters these days, and whether it's on their Podmatch profile or just in general, it's kind of hard to find that sometimes. It's hard to figure that out. So an example is like I have a podcast and it's called Podcasting Made Simple. If you all want to guess what it's about, right? Like it's about simplifying podcasting, and it's specifically for podcast guests and hosts. Like if we want to simplify the whole process for those individuals, I could have named the show the Alex 2.0 show and said like Alex talking about whatever he feels like talking about, but a lot of podcasting stuff, right? Like if that were it, people would look at it and they would not know if they would make a good listener or a good guest. And so I find that what podcast hosts need to get better at is really articulating who is this for. in a way that somebody can jump in and say, okay, look at the title, the description, maybe even the episode title and description. I can listen to 2 minutes of it and know this is for somebody like this, and be on the right track and not be totally off. I think that as podcasters, getting that element right, being willing to adjust and change things over time, not being too married to what we've already created, can really, really go a long way. And I know I took that a little bit more general. That is 100% accurate on Podmatch profiles. It helps a lot with quality matches. But in general, it's going to help you also find your ideal listener better.
Oh, 100%. Just like dating. I mean, I'm less inclined to go on a date with a man who doesn't even have a profile picture or a bio stating at least some of the things that you like, right? Because obviously we can't relate. And that's a perfect explanation. No, I can definitely identify with that.
For sure. For our guest, what makes someone stand out on Podmatch when applying to shows?
I love this question. Thank you for asking this, because I think that so many of us, we look at our collective history, like us, everything we've done. So like all of our careers, the arcs that we've gone through, and we say, cool, this is me, this is everything, right? And the reality is, I think what does better than that is having more of a narrative or more of a story that people can follow with some depth on it. And so, I mean, I think that going back to what Shae just said, like, you want to see a profile picture, you want to see a little bit of detail there, right? And I think that so many people that they use their Podmatch profile or even their social media profiles more as like a resume. Here's the 10 things I've done. Here's a picture from 15 years ago, like, right, and I'm done. And the reality is, we need to be thinking with a little bit more depth. We want people to see the journey. So I always say to people, like, hey, with your Podmatch profile specifically, you want to make sure that you're maxing it out. We have done a good job of filling in everything that we know matters to a host. And so don't skip around and be like TBD, or maybe I'll add this information later, right? Or like questions that are lacking depth. Like a perfect example is, so we have a section in there for questions that you're always ready to answer. Ask me how I got into business. I don't find that to be a very good question. It's like, okay, like, that's a very obvious question, right? Ask me why I decided to pivot from the aerospace industry to podcasting full time, like, which is what I did. And that's like actually a question with some depth to it, right? And that can follow a narrative, that can drive somewhere. So for me, it's all about maxing out the profile, and again, making some depth, not just high level bullet points of the 20 things you've done in your life, right? Like, be willing to go a step further. Most hosts are not going to read this stuff word for word. They're probably not even going to go any direction that you give them exactly, but they're going to pull out a few things like, this is really good. We can make something unique based off of this. And so I find the guests that are willing to put in the time to make a good profile and add that narrative style depth to it, they are the ones that have just phenomenal conversations with podcast hosts, because the host has a pretty good idea of what they can ask them that's going to go down a really good passion trail for them, or just uncover a really beautiful story that their listeners want to hear.
That is true.
Absolutely. We were actually just talking about in the last episode on surface level and then breaking the ice and going deeper into the podcasting. And excuse me, it's different for everybody. But obviously, when you have very direct questions as to who somebody is or what they do, they feel a little bit more like, okay, they know me a little bit, I can open up. And it's almost like ice breaking as well. So right off the jump, with this information and the advice that you've given, you can almost make your guest as a host feel more laxed. You know, they know about me, we can talk about these things, I can share a little bit more, because sometimes people will bring up information where it's like, well, I have to go through a whole backstory to explain this train of thought because you don't know about these things. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that goes a long way. You know, I think too, before I had Podmatch, before it was a thing and I was going on podcasts, I kept on getting asked about my aerospace job. And yes, I did 15 years in big corporate. So like I have that background, that history, but I didn't want to talk about that. But the problem is I wasn't giving hosts direction to do anything otherwise. So they see this impressive career. And so by default, they're like, oh, that's what we'll talk about. And I think that's the beauty of having some sort of profile. It doesn't need to be Podmatch. Like, I'm not here to like sell it, but some sort of updated profile to give direction, right? Like, having that direction for a host tells them, hey, this is the context I want to focus on. So like, let's not go into this or that, right? Like, I want it to be this specifically. And most hosts guests don't even need to explain it once they have that. And then the host knows, like, this is the direction to go in. Again, that just makes for, as you said, like a more in-depth conversation. And that's what I think listeners are looking for these days, is because there's so much fluff these days, like online, right? Like, it's better to have something that really goes deep and captures something unique, but it's got to be in the context. It's the right fit for both the guest and the host.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I mean, I'm liking what I'm hearing. If you guys are struggling with the guest booking process, because sometimes it does take a lot of your time up, besides editing, it's probably one of the most lengthy processes. Just because, you know, you have to reach out, you have to wait for them to respond, then you go back and forth. Booking a guest could take upwards of 3 weeks. I mean, with Alex, it took a couple months. I'm glad that we have you, but that's what I mean is having Podmatch would be ideal, because not only does it help you with available guests, but it just streamlines the whole booking process. Whereas myself and, you know, what I do with my process is I'm on different types of social medias. I'm sending out emails. So there's so many different avenues that I have to keep my attention on in order to complete the booking process. Whereas you have something for us podcasters that would fix the problem right now and make it super easy. Also, probably higher quality guests as well, because it combs through for you, and you're able to, like a dating app, you know, optimize your profile, optimize your show, and that is amazing. But please,
thank you for that plug. I appreciate that. It means a lot. I appreciate it. By the way, I have to give a confession
absolutely.
here. I've never used a dating app. I've been married too long to use one. So I'm using that example, but I don't actually know firsthand.
It's funny. I've never either. It's because for reference, I'm a 5 foot, 100-pound female. And so dating apps are not really the first thing I go to. And, you know, trying to put myself out there, I'm like, that's a little bit too much out there. You know, somebody could just see me walk into the restaurant. It's like, for sure, let me just throw her over my shoulder and run away. Like, you can definitely do that. I fit in a luggage.
Oh my God.
I digress. But yeah, no, definitely the type of app that's kind of like dating that I would use instead of dating apps.
Good to know. I appreciate it. It's Shae approved. Thank you.
100%. Very safe. Not like the description I just gave, please. But please shout yourself out. Tell us what you have going on. The Podbean team will be at Podcast Movement in Dallas. I know you will be there as well, having a seminar. And if there's any other conferences coming up or a feature on Podmatch that you would like to highlight, maybe something new, let us know.
Yeah, thank you for the platform to do this. I really appreciate it. You know, I actually mentioned one that that Podbean helped us out with a little bit, which I thought was cool. So we decided to add an embedded player on all the host profiles on Podmatch specifically, because we wanted to start this project of helping podcast hosts get more listeners. So we currently match podcast guests and hosts for interviews. So we've been doing that. It's working really well, and I'm grateful for that. So we kind of went back to the drawing board and said, okay, now can we match podcast hosts, their shows, with listeners? So we're matching hosts and guests. Can we also match hosts and listeners? We've got enough information on the profiles we could do that. So we added an embedded player, and Podbean was actually the first company we reached out to saying, hey, as it stands right now, if somebody listens to a podcast on Podmatch, it's just going to say web browser or other. I'm like, can we get listed there as an actual like listening app? And sure enough, they were able to help us figure out how to do that. And so I don't know about all the hosting providers, but I know on Podbean, Podmatch is listed if people are using it to listen. And so I digress on the technical side of things, but what I'm really excited about is we're seeing this is already working. And so we are actually finding that we're able to help move the needle with getting podcast hosts more listeners to their podcast, because we're able to rank it really high in search engines and also in all the large language model AI platforms. We're able to go in there and basically when people are searching for podcasts using these methods, we're able to recommend the shows that are using Podmatch. And it's still very early phase, but we're already seeing some really, really great results for our members. And so like that for me right now is what I'm most excited about, is like, let's keep on helping podcasters not just have great conversations, but also bring the right listeners that want to hear those conversations. And so for me, like this is the most exciting thing I think I'm working on right now.
Yeah, I love that. That's super cool. That's amazing. Good for you. Congratulations. That's incredible.
Thank you.
You are truly entering a portion of the podcast space that I feel like out of all of our episodes, we have not come across something like this. And you guys are actively speaking to people. I mean, going out, doing a conference, and then staying after and putting in the hard work, talking to people, hearing what they have to say. I think that is one of the most underrated things. It's like face-to-face questions and surveying. That's awesome. Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah, it goes a really long way. And I'm really grateful for the podcasting community. Like I call it like a family. Like I just absolutely love going to the events and getting to hang out with people, meet people, take pictures together. Like I've just learned to really enjoy it. And it's been a very good space to me. And I just want to always pay it forward and return the favor any chance I get.
That is
Yeah,
incredible.
that's so awesome. I'm really
Very
excited
unique.
for you because honestly, with the RSS feed, it can open up so many doors to so many different things. And I'm sure you understand and know and have it at the back of your mind, like I need to work on this first, but I have this and this and this. And I see it as well. And so I'm excited for you. I can't wait to
Can't
be
wait.
along for the ride. But if you guys are headed to Podcast Movement, want to know more about podmatch.com from Alex himself, maybe even have a chance to meet him and other podcast creators. The community is amazing. I will emphasize the fact that Alex did say that. It is amazing. It's a great, welcoming community. I mean, it's podcasting. We're talking. We love talking. We love talking to each other. And so if you're ever at Podcast Movement, definitely check out his seminar or his panel. And check out podmatch.com.
Well, thank you so much again for having me. I really appreciate it. And it's just an honor to get to hang out with you all today. I look forward to spending more time together in Dallas and hopefully meet a bunch of the people that are getting to hear this as well. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Please, we will make it to your seminar. And then we will also, if you'd like to stop by the booth, we'll be having live interviews as well. We're covering the whole thing. But thank you so much for your time. Podmatch.com founder. He is
Thank you again. I appreciate it.
innovating the podcast space.
For sure.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
But this has been episode 20 of
Wow.
Podbean Amplified.
20s.
This episode, I really kept chin checking my mic. Just doof, doof. I'm like, you need to scoop back. Scoop back. Episode 20. How do you feel from the beginning to now?
Oh, wow. I'd say like I've learned a lot, especially in podcasting. So
Yeah.
this is actually, I haven't been really podcasting. This is my first ever. And I've learned a lot along the way and I'm very grateful for it. So
Same.
yeah.
Same. Amazing. Amazing. One more time, we are having a giveaway. This is the last week to do the giveaway. It will be closing on August 8th. So make sure that you enter. The giveaway details are on our Instagram, and we are teaming up with none other than JLab Audio. And we're excited about this partnership. There's a lot of things coming, a lot of things in the works. But if you want to win some exclusive gear from JLab Audio, go over to our Instagram. You got a couple more days. What is today? Tuesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You got 3 days. Get on it.
Yep.
And then at Podcast Movement, we will be there from the 18th to the 21st. The 19th and the 20th, Tuesday and Wednesday, we will be hosting live interviews, talking to a lot more creators. Gosh, we have like 15 interviews set up. I'm so
Wow.
excited.
For 2 days.
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm going to be so burnt out, but I'm going to ask all the questions. If you guys have any specific questions that you want to unpack on Podbean Amplified leading up to our next episode, well, shoot us a DM. Shoot me an email. Shoot me a DM. Shoot Ericka a DM. Shoot Podbean a DM. But ask your questions because we will be in a space with podcasting innovators, podcast creators, podcast lawyers, like so many different people in the space from top to bottom, left to right, side to side. They're there. And we will be there too. So if you were there, check us out in the booth. And it's been real.
It's been fun.
It's been real fun. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.